Welcome to my channel again. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Loft command in AutoCAD. Now the Loft command is a modeling tool that is used to create 3D solids or 3D surfaces. And the outcome of the loft also depends on the arrangement of the cross sections of the object I want to loft. So you can either loft a closed geometry like the circle, square, or any closed geometry either to a point or along a particular path. Okay, you can see on the screen here that I have some objects that were created using the Loft command. Here, for instance, I have a circle. I have to loft this circle to a point. Again, here is another circle lofted through a particular path. You can see how the path goes and ends there. Here is another one. This is a square also lofted through a particular path. Right. And again, you can choose whether you want the loft in 3D form or in 3D surface. Okay, you can see here I have a 3D solid here. This is a lofted object. Okay, you can see here that this is a 3D and the outcome of this 3D solid is determined by the arrangement of the cross sections of this very loft. And also, you can also see that it is a 3D solid. And the arrangement of the cross section here is the same as one I have there, but the outcome here is a surface. So you can choose whether to make the loft a surface or a 3D solid. And again, the lofting order also matters. So I can choose to loft the lower one first, next the second and the third, or that is 1, 2, 3, or 1, 3, 2, depending on the order I want the loft to take place. Okay, so here's another one. You can see that this and this, they both have the same cross-section arrangement. And here, after the loft, this is a 3D solid, and this is a 3D surface. So you can actually choose whether you want the loft in 3D solid or in 3D surface. Okay, so I'm now going to show you step by step on how I created each of these very objects. So let's go on to the main exercise. Okay, so now let's get started. So the loft operation is a 3D modeling exercise. So to start, I'll have to switch my workspace to 3D modeling. So come up here. If it's not already selected, click on this arrow and choose 3D modeling. And also, the Loft command can be found on the modeling panel. So when you click on this arrow here, you can see that you have the extrude, loft, revolve, and sweep. So click on the Loft command to start your drawing, or come down to the command line. Okay, the command line is not open here, so to open the command line, just type Ctrl+9. Okay, so you can come down to the command line and enter Loft. Type and enter Loft to start the drawing. Okay, so now let's get started. Now you can see here that I have a circle and a line. Also here I have a circle and a path. So these two are actually paths. This is a path, this is a path. So I want to loft this very circle to this very point. Okay, so let's now start. I'm going to loft this circle now to a point, up to this very point. So what I'll do, click on Loft command, then come down, click on the object I want to loft. Then I'm going to loft to a point, so I click on point. Then here is the point I want to loft the circle to. Click on this. You can see that the loft has already taken place. So when I click on path, I may decide to enter and leave the loft the way it is. You can see that as a slight curve or smooth curve at the very end. This is also a loft operation, but I can decide to make this a perfect straight line. So let's repeat that. Now click on loft, click on the circle I want to loft, and click on point. Choose point at this time. Now click on path. Now click on this line. This is the path I want to loft to. Click on line. You can see now that I have a perfect straight line at the edges. So that loft has been done. You can see it's a 3D solid. So let's not loft this very circle again and see what happens here. So click on the loft command. Click on the circle I want to loft. Again, choose point because I want to loft to this very point. Click on point. Here is the point I want to loft. You can see that the loft has also taken place, but in this case, I want it to follow a particular path. So I click on path, then click on this path. Okay, so that has also been done. You can also see that it is a 3D solid. Okay, so let's now go on to the next one. What is this? Now click on the loft command again, then click on this. Again, I want to loft this to this very point. So I click enter. You may want to use the shortcut. You can click on point on the shortcut or still come down to the command line and click point. All the same. Click on point. Now here is the point I want to loft. Okay, the loft has also taken place. So I now choose path because I want it to follow a particular path. So I click on path, then click on this path. Okay, that has also taken place. Okay, so what really happens is that the square will reduce as it's going through that path until it ends up at the very point. So the size of the square will be reducing as it moves along the path until it gets to this very point. Okay, let's shift to the next. Right. Okay, so here are three setup here. You can see that they are all, you have three geometries here: a circle, a polygon, and also a smaller polygon. They are all the same and arranged in the same manner. So I'm going to loft these three together in 3D surface and in 3D solid. So you see how it is done. So I'm going to click on loft command again, then loft this. Now follow the order. This is first, loft to this, and loft to the third one up. Okay. Now I can either choose to make it 3D solid or 3D surface. How do I do that? Come down to the command line. Here I have to choose the mode I want. I click on mode. Now the mode, there will be a drop down window where you can choose either solid or surface. In this case, let's choose solid and enter and exit command. Yes, I have to loft through the cross section. You can click on cross section. Okay, you can see here that I have a 3D solid. Lofted 3D solid. Now I'm going to perform the same operation here, but again I'm going to choose the surface so that we see how this looks like. So I click on loft again. Follow the same order of loft. That is first, second, and third. Okay, now choose mode again. Let's now choose surface. Click on surface and enter. Okay, cross section. Yes, you can see that this is hollow, or this is 3D solid. Now if you place your mouse over it, you can see that this is surface loft. Surface loft, and it is hollow inside. You can see that this is hollow, or this is 3D solid. Okay, so let's now work on this. This have the same cross-sectional arrangement just for this, but here the order of lots will change. I'm going to make it 1, 2, and 3. Remember, this is 1, 2, 3, but here I'm going to make it 1, 2 at the top and 3 at the end of at the middle one. So click on the Loft command again. Let's now choose the order of loft. This is first. I make it on the second one, then this is the third one. Again. So let's choose mode again. Click on the mode command. Here I'm going to choose surface. Okay. Enter. Also choose cross section. Alright, so you can see that, see what we have here. Because the surface is hollow. You can see. This is hollow. 3D surface. Okay, so let's move to the next step. Now the lofting arrangement has changed here. You can see that the one that was formerly on top now comes down to the middle. So let's now loft and see how that looks like. So click on the Loft command again. Click on the same order. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. You can select mode again and choose whether you want it in 3D solid or in 3D surface. Then click on mode. Choose 3D solid. Also choose cross section. Okay, so this is what I have for this. Now let's see what happens with this. Remember, this and this have the same cross section arrangement. So I click on loft again. Click on this. Now I'm going to change the loft order. This one becomes the second one, and this is the third one. Enter. Also choose cross section. You can see how this looks like. This and this have the same cross section arrangement. Now because of the lofting order is not the same, I now have different shapes. I can also see that it is a 3D solid. Okay, so again you can change the shape of an already lofted object. Okay, for instance, let's use this one as an example. When you click on a lofted object like this, you will see that you can also make changes on the shape or how you want it to look like. For instance, I click on this and I click on this tiny arrow and this blue arrow. Now from the drop down window, you can start to make changes. You can change the shape of this very lofted object by making some choices here. For instance, let's select this. You can see that its shape here has changed. Click again, select this for instance. You can see that this has also changed. So you can change the shape by clicking on this arrow and make a selection that suits the shape you want. So here are the ways you can use the Loft command. Let me turn this around. You can see how this one looks like. This is solid. Here I have hollow. You can choose either you want the loft to appear as a 3D solid or as a 3D surface. Okay, so here are the ways you can use the Loft command in AutoCAD. So thank you for watching, and please do subscribe for more of my tutorials.